Let me tell you why you need TSA Precheck, because I've been on the other side. You know, they say the grass is not always greener on the other side. Well, let me tell you, the grass is greener on the other side. I've been where I haven't had TSA Precheck, and I feel so ghetto. And like, I don't even like to use the word ghetto, but it's just so much better when you on the other side of luxury. Like that's how I describe it, luxury or ghetto when it comes to not having TSA Precheck. I'm telling y'all have to see the difference. I kid you not, the last time I was at LAX, I was in this long line and I'm just like rolling my eyes in the back of my head because I'm like, this cannot be life right now.
Where in the Herd is Tiffany, where we talk about travel, lifestyle, and mental health. Follow us on Instagram at Sweet Tiffies, Twitter at Sweet Tiffies, Facebook Sweet Tiffies Inspirations, and Tiffany-Travels.com. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.
Welcome back to Where in the Herd is Tiffany. On today's topic, we are going to be giving tips on going through security at the airport. As a traveler, I think this is very important information to let everybody else know, because we all know that traveling is a venture, and that first adventure before we even get to our destination is the airport. So let's get straight into it. So that was immigration in front of me. Now we are going through security. We're going to be talking about 4 different things today. So we are going to be talking about TSA Precheck, Clear, Global Entry, and Mobile Passport. So the first thing that we're going to bring up is TSA Precheck, because that is the first thing that you're going to come across when you come to the airport. And so what is TSA Precheck? It is part of the Homeland Security. And so it's basically a way for you to expedite when you arrive at the airport through security. So first of all, let me talk about some ways that you can actually apply for a TSA Precheck. So you can apply online or you can apply in person. And one of the reasons why I love TSA Precheck, because I absolutely hate taking off shoes, clothes, jackets, all that kind of stuff. Like it is a killer for me when I'm traveling. Especially when I think about like taking off your shoes, and sometimes what if you forget or you're not wearing socks, you have to touch the dirty ground, and then you like all bundled up and then you have to take everything off. I'm sorry I'm being so dramatic, but that's how I feel when I feel like I have to take all these things off. So the number one thing for me about TSA Precheck is I don't have to do all of that. So you don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your belt if you wear that. You don't have to take off your jacket, the particular height of the liquids, you can keep that inside. And you don't have to take off your laptop. I primarily travel with my iPad, but then that means I don't have to take that off either. So for me, I don't care. That is the number one priority why I'm like, I want TSA Precheck. I don't know about you. The other thing is I am never on time to the airport, y'all. I know as a frequent traveler, I need to get it together, but I have not, and I keep doing the same thing over and over. So if I'm not arriving on time to the airport, and I am near the LAX airport, I need that TSA Precheck. There have been times where I'm like, dang it, I'm running late to the airport, but I know because I have TSA Precheck that I'll be okay. I shouldn't think like that because anything could go wrong. So don't pay attention to me when I don't be on time. You be on time, okay? Because I don't want you to miss that flight. And I have missed flights, but we're going way off track. Anyway, let's bring it back to the TSA Precheck. And so I think if those are not good reasons to get it, I don't know. I will say though, this is so random as well, but look at my hair, y'all. The one thing that TSA Precheck is not preventing them touching my hair, okay? And I hate that too, but it's a whole nother video just about them touching your hair, or I'm gonna say black folks' hair, because I don't see them doing that to everybody. Now, if there's somebody else that's watching this that is not black and they've done it to you, prove me wrong, but I've never seen it with my own eyes. And so anyway, the fee for the TSA Precheck is $85. And so I think this is something that if you can invest in, I think you should invest in it. And it lasts for what, like 5 years, I believe. So this is a great investment. So you think it's like what, $20 a year or something like that. And so I would highly recommend getting TSA Precheck. Okay. And the other thing about it, the other thing I will say, when you're at the airport or when you're first booking your flight online, make sure you put your known traveler number in there. So that way, when the ticket pops up when you get to the airport, it'll already be on your ticket. So I've had times where I've had TSA Precheck and it's not on that ticket. If it does not say it on that ticket, then they're going to put you in the regular line, and that's what you don't want. So I've had to literally go back to the counter and be like, hey, it doesn't say TSA Precheck. And then there's times where they're like, oh, it's not working. I'm like, no, I need you to make this work. And then I've gone back to the TSA Precheck line and they'll send me back to the counter because it still wasn't working. So most of the time that's not an issue, but sometimes it will be. So just make sure when you're booking, put it in there. And then when you leave that counter, make sure it's there so that you don't go to the line and have to come back. Okay. And so yes, highly recommend TSA Precheck for a better experience at the airport for various reasons. So number 2, we're going to talk about, which is Clear. So Clear is not part of TSA Precheck. They have nothing to do with each other. But if you are at the airport, you will see that there is a Clear line and a TSA Precheck line. And so the Clear basically is also another form to get you through security a lot quicker. The difference between Clear and TSA Precheck, Clear is a biometric data. So they're looking at your fingerprints, your eyes, and I think your face for facial recognition. So if you're like scared of things like that, you're like, I don't know about Clear. They already got so much information. But that's basically what it is. And the difference also is the fee. It is $179 annually. So it's not something that's going to last you 5 years. And so I will say, is it worth it for Clear? I say if you are a frequent traveler, Clear is definitely worth it. But if you're traveling like, once or twice a year, it's probably not really worth it. And so I will tell you some good ways to try out Clear. So sometimes they'll be standing right there and they'll be like, hey, would you like to try a free trial of Clear? And I'm like, sure. So I tried it one time, which was great because at the time I was traveling so much that year. So it was definitely worth it. And that line is usually shorter than the other line. So those are the reasons why I say that you can get it. But I will say that it's not at all of the airports. So right now, I believe it's only at 51 locations, which, there's way more than 51 airports in the US. So you have to make sure that it's at your local airport, which I'm at LAX. And so it is at my airport. So that's why it would be worth it. But ways that you can save on that $179 fee. If you had the Amex card, I believe they take $100 off of that, but don't quote me. And then if you are a United or Delta member, I think you get like a $60 discount. So there are ways around it to make sure that you are saving on that fee. And so I always say try something once, so try that free trial. And I've even seen people give out codes. Like, I don't know if there's a code, but I feel like I've seen codes in travel groups where they're like, hey, you could try out Clear for 3 months based off of my referral. So also check that out as well. But I do think it's a viable option to get through the airport fairly quickly. This is globalentry. Super quick to get back into the States.
You have a globalentry?
See?
Okay, use it. And don't take a picture.
I am using it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have just talked about ways how you're entering or you're leaving the US to go to somewhere. Now we're going to talk about when it's time to come back home. So when you are coming back home on a 10-15 hour flight from an international destination, the last thing you want to do is wait in another long line to come back into the US. So when you first arrive, there will be several different lines for people, that are citizens or have their passport. And usually most people are going to that line. But if you have global entry, you will go to this other line. And the global entry line, I kid you not, is super, super short. It can take you 5 minutes to get back out versus standing in line that can wait from 20 minutes to 40 minutes, just depending on how many people are getting off at the airplane at the same time. So the global entry is $100 US. It's gonna take about 4 to 6 weeks to get processed, but the good thing that is good for 5 years. So again, if you're a math person, divide that by 5, then you're gonna get like $20 a year, which I think is great. And so the cool thing is once you submit your application, the next process is you're going to schedule an interview. And so the interview, I think when I first done it, which was a couple years ago, it seemed like there was a long wait for an interview. But I think now it's a little bit quicker. I think you can do it at the airport itself. But let's say you were doing it online, just go ahead and schedule your appointment. And then at the actual interview, when I kid you not, I think people are nervous when it comes to airport security, but actually it was super, super quick. I kid you not, this interview was like less than 10 minutes. And so the officer is going to ask you to come in, and then they ask you like name all of the places that you've been in a certain amount of time. They'll do your fingerprints. And that's pretty much the interview, but make sure you bring your passport, like your license and like your conditional letter that you've been approved by. And that's pretty much it. Like nothing to be afraid of. It's very quick. It's really easy and simple. It's just a little process to take to get through the application process to the interview process, then to getting your card. Okay. So you'll get your card in the mail soon after that, but you actually do not need to present a card when you're coming back. So it's all going to be electronic. So when you're coming back into the country, you're going to go to the kiosk. The kiosk is going to ask to put in, I think you have to put in a flat thin copy of your passport, and you may need to put in like your name or something like that, but it's still all very easy. Like I said, the process is not taking a long time once you are coming back in. A lot of people ask about, can children participate? Yes, they can participate. I would check to see what are the different things that you need to make sure that they are available. And yeah, that's pretty much about TSA Precheck. Very simple to the point. The other thing is, if you don't want to pay that fee, I actually got my I actually got my global entry through my Chase Sapphire Reserve card. And so I was able to apply for it, and then they reimbursed me the $100 back. And the good thing is, if you get global precheck, you automatically get, if you get global entry, you automatically get the TSA precheck. So that's the good thing about that. So instead of just applying for that TSA precheck separately, you might as well just go ahead and pay the extra $15 of $100 that will equal to $100, and then you will get both at the same time. So I think that's great. Mobile passport. So a lot of people I don't think know about mobile passport, but mobile passport is actually really cool because all that stuff that I just described about global entry, none of this applies to mobile passport. Literally, you download the mobile passport and it is actually entry into the US as well. You don't pay a fee. There is some paid version, but I've never used it before. I've always used the free version. Same thing, when you walk up, get off the plane, coming back into the US, you will show them that you have your mobile passport. They will direct you to the kiosk, the same kiosk that you use for global entry, and you put your information and you are out the door. So if you guys don't know about mobile passport, make sure you get that. Just make life a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. And it's cool because you don't have to pay the fee.
Click on Airside Mobile Passport. It's going to bring you into the app. You're going to choose airplane, and then you are going to proceed to fill out the passenger information. You're going to fill out all the fields, your passport number, your surname, given address, date of birth, sex, country, citizenship. And then you are going to proceed to push enter.
I hope that everyone enjoyed this video. Again, just a little recap. We talked about TSA Precheck, we talked about Clear, Global Entry, and Mobile Passport. So choose the one that is best for you. And I hope that this educational, informational video will help your ease of travel in and out the airport. Please let me know your experiences if you've ever used any of these, or if you can relate to anything that I said during the video. All right, until the next video, peace.